Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Chatatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Matasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam Chahastamalakam Chashishyam Tam Todagam Vartikakara Manyan Asmat Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidparam. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmane Savila Moha Graha Graseka Karmane. We have seen, for understanding any subject, we need three aspects to be clear: Hetu, Swarupa, and Karana. Hetu, Swarupa, and Karya. Not Karana, Karya. Karya is Prayojana. Hetu Swarupa Karyani Binnan Yesham Asankaraha Yatavat Avagantavyaha Shastrartam Pravivichyata. शास्त्र अर्थम प्रविविच्यता. विवेक करने के लिए, विविच्य मीन्स टू differentiate, distinguish. शास्त्र अर्थम, टू अंडरस्टैंड शास्त्र. क्या करना चाहिए? भिन्नानि असंकृतः, असंकरः. Asankaraha means that which to distinguish or make sure that it is different from each other. Of everything that is to be understood specifically, Hetu, Swarupa and Karya. Hetu means Karanam. What is the cause of a thing? What is the Swarupa? What is the nature of a thing? And what is the karya or effect or prayojan? For what? Yata pat shastrartham avagantavyaha. So to understand avagamanam is to know, avagantavyaha, to be known, tavya pratyaya, to be done, to be understood, shastrartham yatavat, as is. Now we saw in that three things are said to be the main sadhana for a sadhaka. Vairagya, first one; Bodha, second one; and Upaharanam or called as Uparati. So these three things which are said already before in the previous verse, Vairagya bodho paramaha sahayaste parasparam prayena sahavartante viyujyante kvachit kvachit. In general, these three are together. What are the three together? Vairagya, bodha or jnanam, and uparamaha or uparati. And usually it is prayena sahavartante, and in some places kvachit kvachit viyujyante, they become different. So now each one of them, for vairagyasya hetuhu kim, vairagyasya hetuhu kaha, vairagyaswarupam kim, vairagyasya karyah kaha. That is said in the 278, I think we saw that also. We'll read together. Dosha drishtirjihasa cha punarbhogeshvadinata asadharana hetvadya vairagyasya trayopyami. Ami trayaha api vairagyasya asadharana hetu adyaha. Hetu adya means hetu, swarupa and karya. Hetu, karanam, cause. Second is nature, function. And third is effect. So asadharana, unique. In what are those? First one is hetu. Dispassion or vairagyasya hetuhu kaha. How vairagya starts? Dosha drishtya. Dosha drishtihi hetuhu. Meaning, when I want to give up something, I should first of all see what is the defect in that. Otherwise, I will not have. One day I will give up, next day I will pick up again. Because we are not seeing that clearly. That's why Bhagavan, Bhajagovindam mein kya hua? Sab, everywhere he gives dosha drishti, right? Nalini, what is it called? Naristanabara, that of course he specifically says. Then he says, Nalini taragata jalamati taralam tatvajivitam adishaya chapalam buddhivyati abhimanagrastam lokam shokahatam cha samastam. This is dosha drishti. Yavat vitto parjana saktah tavan nicha parivaro raktah paschat jivati jarjara dege vartam povina prichati. Dosha drishti. So he's constantly showing, you are seeing only one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is also there. You don't see the only rosy side, look at the other side also. Because when we are so enamored by one side, we do not see we fail to see unless we are shown. This is there. So dosha drishtihi eva vairagyasya hetu parama hetu. The primary cause. एक बार sweet खाएंगे भाई. Inside there is a cockroach. यही है दोष दृष्टि. मैं बताया. Then you take a rasgulla, soft, white, but inside that is a black, live cockroach. This is dosha drishti. So dukkha dosha anudarshanam, punah punah chintanam. Then next one is swarup. Swarup kya hai? What is the nature of dispassion? Is here is again jihasa, hatum ichha, छोड़ने के लिए इच्छा. मैं नहीं चाहिए, ये नहीं चाहिए, अब आज से नहीं चाहिए. The desire to give up. Always. That the feeling that I don't need it anymore. Once you have seen the dosha drishti, which caused you to have a feeling of dispassion, thereafter attempting all the time to give up. Jihasa, hatumicha. So the desire to give up is considered as a swarup. And what is the prayojanam or the karya of that? Karya of that is, it is said here, punar bhogeshu adinata. There is no more dependence seeking for it to be experienced again. Punaha again. Punaha punaha. Bhogeshu adinata. No more I need this for my happiness. This is a result of dispassion. When a person has got dispassion, he becomes independent of that object. No more that object becomes a source of joy. I know I can live without that. I remember when I was in this Yokendra, I know I might have told you this before. I was a Gurudev's lecture. I listen almost every day in the, during those cassettes were there. So, first thing in the morning, as soon as I wake up and then I brush my teeth and then take shower and then at least 30, 40 minutes listen. That gives a push for the day, gives the energy for the day. What is that you are going back? Punah punah. Kutra gachasi tvam. So, their walking is much better than you are going back and forth. That's good. Nowadays it's very quiet. Always run. Yeah. So when I was listening, and then one day my friend, who is not from Chinmaya Mission, he said, let's go to a movie. It's a very nice movie, English movie in Bangalore. I went there. I couldn't sit for more than 20 minutes. It's boring. So it's so interesting. No more interest. Let me get out of this place. So I came out. So I thought it is definitely because of the consistent listening to Shravana. Gurudev's words very strong. So when you are reflecting on that, you lose interest in petty things. Shravana Mahima it is. When you listen to that, it becomes very sharp in your head or very strong in your head. Thereafter, because of those very words of wisdom that comes into you strongly, this is nothing, I'm wasting my time here. I came out of it. With no regret. So that hatumicha, I don't want it anymore. So that happens, and thereafter, no more dependence on that for joy. That is what is here said to be. There is no more punaha bhogeshu adinata. This is the effect. So hetuhu dosha drishtihi, swarupaha hatumicha, and karya is punaha bhogeshu adinata. These are all called asadharana hetu. It is called unique features of dispassion. Hetu adyaha. Hetu means hetu swarupa karya ityadi. Vairagyasya trayaha ami. Ami means aimi trayaha. These three are considered to be that. Now, what is bodha? Bodha is jnanam. Knowledge in general and in specific to self-knowledge. Atma jnanam. So, what is the hetu, what is the swarupa, and what is the karya? We'll see that in verse number 279. Shravanaditrayam tattvat mitya matyat tattvamitya vivechanam punargranteranudayah bodhasyete trayo mataha. Shravanaditrayam tattvat tattvamitya vivechanam punargranteranudayah bodhasyete trayo mataha. Edat trayah mataha is considered Etatraya, these three, for what? Bodhasya. Bodhasya, Hetu, Swarupa, Ityadi. So first one, Shravana Adi Trayam. Shravana Adi Trayam. So, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, these three together are considered as the cause. It is a Vedantic tradition that listening, reflection, and meditation. Listening is introduction to the subject matter. What is unknown before Ajnanasya Jnanam Sambhavati Shravanena. Ajnatasya. Ajnata means what is unknown. Jnanam. Knowledge of what is unknown before. Before you listen to Vedanta lecture, Atman does not know. Admi know, we know. Admi hai. And Atman. Admi bhi Atman hai. Right? That understanding, Atman is Atman also. So not only Atman. So the one which is Atman, that is there, something which is so profound, that knowledge comes from Shravanam. Shravanam can include study also, but basically it is hearing to the words of the scriptures, because it is not available through any other pramana. By Pratyaksha it is not available, Anumana it is not available, Upamana it is not available, Arthapati it is not available, Anupalabdhi it is not available, Shabda Pramana. So the Shabda Pramana is the only means to this knowledge. So Ajnatasya Jnapanam Jnapakam Tata Jnanam Tata Jnapakam. Ajnat जो है वो दूर नहीं है हमसे, वो अज्ञापक है. Meaning it is forgotten. Jnapakartham Jnanam, right? It is mainly to remind us about what we already are. So this Jnan is not something which is away from us, even though unknown, which is said Ajnatam, Parantu, it is not far away, Pratyagatma, it is one's own self, which unfortunately one does not know, when knowledge is that which introduces you to you. मैं खुद को मैं नहीं जानता हूँ, introduce you to you. I am. You do know who I am? If you don't have guru and then ask, do you know who I am? Do you know who you are? He will ask that question to you. You don't go with the pride. Do you know who I am? They will only smile. Do you know who you are? So here, Ajnatasya Jnapakartam Jnanam Tat Shravanena. So Shravana. Manana is to remove all the doubts, ambiguities, whether that what is said by the Shastra or Guru, one who has Shraddha and then does the mananam of it, comes to have a doubtless knowledge, samshaya rahita jnanam mananadeva sambhavati. By reflection alone, one comes to have the doubtless knowledge. Then anubhava, that putting that very knowledge into one's own nature is that putting that into one's own practice for abidance, that happens in Nididhyasa. Nitaram Didyasa. मैं वही हूँ, मैं आत्मा हूँ. इसमें मेरा कुछ संदेश what do you call it, संशय नहीं है. मैं वही हूँ, मैं एक तत्वम एव त्वमेव तत्. This Upanishad has said, you are that, that is you. And that's what I want to know and realize. So that is Nididhyasa. So Shravanaditrayam, that is considered as the Hetu. Vedanto nama Upanishad Pramanam. Upanishad Deva Vedantaha. So Vedanta, when you say, a Praman se hi hota hai. With the Pramana only, we can know any knowledge. Any knowledge comes through the field or the source or the means of knowledge. If I want to see the color and form and the shape of a thing, the eyes are the Pramana. Right? In the same way, Ajnada vastu atmanaha pramanam kim bhavati. Shabda pramanameva. Vedanto nama Shabda pramanam Upanishad pramanam. So Upanishad is Aptavakya, is it not? Those who have realized, they have declared it. It's not that it is hearsay. It is coming from the right source. So Vedanta Pramanena Shravanam Vedanta Pramanam Eva Tasya Hetuhu Bodhasya. What is the Swarupa? Tattvad Tattva Mithya Vivechanam. The Swarupa of Jnanam is Vivechanam. In simple words, Vivechanam. Vivechanam means clear distinction between what is the Tattva and what is the Mithya. A Satya kya hai, Mithya kya hai. So what happens is, when we do not understand it clearly, Satya bhi hai, Mithya ke jod, Mithya is also there. And because we are used to Mithya, with not knowing it's Mithya, we get carried away by that. Knowing that it is Mithya, we are not leaving it. That's why it is said, as it is earlier said, Vairagya, Bodha and Uparama, in general they are together, but they have to be. Then only it is complete. Otherwise, the knowledge clearly shows a tattva hai, a mithya hai. First of all, let us understand the Swarupa, the function of knowledge is to clarify clearly what is true and what is false. Tattvat Tattva Mithya Vivechanam. That is called Swarupa. So, in general, what does knowledge do? In any other subject matter also, not only self-knowledge, it distinguishes an object from other things. Is it not? A knowledge of a thing makes us able to see why it is what it is. Why this is silver and why this is wood. So silver has certain qualities, and wood has it is not the same. So what makes this different from other things is to know its nature. Right? So distinguishing features of a thing, to make that clear, is the nature of the knowledge. And here, when you take to self-knowledge, Tadeva Satyam, Atma Eva Satyam, Tad Vyadiriktam Sarvam Anityam Mithya Iti. This knowledge is called, that is the Swarupa of the knowledge. Vivechanam, clarity, differentiation, discrimination, uniqueness, showing the features, characteristics, nature, functions. So that is the Swarupa. Then next one is Karya. What is a Karya? Punar Grantehe Anudayaha. Punaha, again. Grantehe. What is Granti? Ajnanam. What is a Granti? Hridaya Granti. Kama, Avidya, Kama, Karma, iti Trividaha Grantayaha. But here in this context we saw Granti is mainly the Adhyasa. Adhyasa eva Grantihi. In this chapter 6 we saw Adhyasa Granti. The Adhyasa, Punaha Adhyasa na Udayaha Bhavati. Na Udayate. It does not come back again. So Ajnana Nivritya Granti Nivrittihi. Or Ajnana Nivritti eva Granti Nivrittihi. The destruction of the knot is none other than removal of the ignorance. So that is called the Karya or Prayojanam. So, Bodhasya Hetuhu Shravana Manana Nidyasana Sadhanani Bodhasya Swarupaha Vivechanam Tattva Mithya Vivechanam. Then, Bodhasya Jnanasya Prayojanam Kim Granti Anudayaha Eva Prayojanam. No more no more putting 3 knots. Once somebody has asked, why is that a person was married is not allowed to marry again unless he is divorced? Or why 2 people he cannot marry at the same time? Because a person cannot be punished for the same mistake again. Once you have given a punishment, you cannot punish him again for the same mistake. एक बार किया, दूसरे बार वही करता है, क्यों? Do the same mistake again. So Granthi means no more knots. Not the not 7, huh? That's not the knot I'm talking about. Not N-A-U-G-H-T, N-O-T. Add some K in front of it. Not. No more not. Punaha Grante Anudeha Bodhasya Ete Trayo Mataha. These all three are considered as what? Hetu, Swarupa and Karya. This is what is said for both. All right. Now comes the third one. Vairagya we have seen, Bodha, and the third one is Uparamaha. See, Uparama is the effect of Shama and Dama. Please understand that. Shama is Mano Nigraha. Dama is Indriya Nigraha. That's right. But what is the result of Mana Indriya Nigraha? Nigrahanam? Shanti. If the mind and senses both are quiet, what else can happen? Oh, Swami, know what? Sushupti. Sojana. Uparamaha is where withdrawn mind and withdrawn senses. Then what is it? Not sleeping. So mind has become placid, quiet, peaceful, self, and full of serenity and joy. And Uparama Rama means Samipe Ramanam. Inner enjoyment, contentment, that's actual meaning. Uparamanam. Upa Samipe Atmanaha Samipe Stitva Tasya Anandasya Ramanam. That's called Uparama. So here, Uparamasya Hetuhu, Uparamasya Swarupaha, Uparamasya Karyam. Let's see it here, next verse. Yamadi Dhir Nirodhascha Vyavaharasya Samkshayaha Syurhedvadya Uparatehe Itya Sankara Iritaha Yamadirtir Nirodhascha Vyavaharasya Samshayaha Syurhetvadya Uparatehe Itya Sankara Iritaha. Yama Adi. This is specifically taken from Ashtanga Yoga. Uparama, withdrawal, is an action. Unlike Vairagya, is not an action. Jnanam is also not action. I am doing something. What are you doing? Dispassion. Dispassion you cannot do. You can sit, you can do, but with dispassion, what will you do? Can you do dispassion? Nowadays I am very seriously doing some dispassion. Now, what will you do? Hey, so it's not an action. It's not something to do. Similarly, Jnanam, even though Shravanam is an action which you have to do, and even actually Shravanam is not an action, you are listening. Listening is, if you want to consider it an action, it's okay. Mananam is also not an action, physical action. Upanama, on the other hand, you need to engage consciously in the act of withdrawal. And that is why yoga, in Yoga Darshan, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, he has given very clearly, you have to have 8-fold steps to it. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyanam, and Samadhi. In that, he begins with Yama and Niyama. Yama and Niyama are causes for Uparama, according to Patanjali, and that is effectively used here by Vidyaranya, Swami Vidyaranya. So Yama includes 5. Ahimsa, Asteya. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. First one is Ahimsa. not causing injury to anyone, either by action, thought, speech. This is the first one. Then ahimsa followed by satyam. That is, mind will be focusing only on what is true and speaking what is true and encouraging others to only tell you the truth. You know, if somebody tells a false, is it false? Yes, don't tell me then. Because I don't need to. Why? It's false and why are you telling me? What is true only I want to hear. So, Badram Karne Vishruniyama, right? I want to hear and I want to see what is true. So, Satyam is where I want to hear what is true and I want to then speak only what is true. So, this is also an action, the way to do things. Right? Then asteya, non-stealing others' property. Not trying, even desiring for somebody's property, somebody's things. Not only property, but anything that belongs to other does not belong to me. It is not mine. So I should not have any either covetousness, greed, or desire to own it. So that is third. The third niyama. Then the fourth niyama is brahmacharya. That is self-control, control of the sensuousness, absence of lust. Any source of such lust should be avoided there. Then only the mind can do not dwell on that. Brahmani eva charati yaha. Sayeva brahmachari. One who is able to keep the mind in Brahman, such a person is called brahmacharya, following the brahmacharya nishta. So, to make that possible, one should avoid all the distractions. So, that is brahmacharya. And the fifth one is, last one is, they said as aparigraha, absence of possessiveness about the possessions. Not that one should not possess anything, then you should be on the street. No possessiveness. What is needed you take and use it, and not mine. It is useful for this purpose. That's all it is. Not daridra. That is not what is said. Okay, I don't want anything. Go on the road. No, I have it, but not mine. It is belong to a particular reason why I am having it. Once that is over, or if it is no more necessary, chodo usko. Nahi chahiye. Aparigraha. Parigrahana means to hold on, possess. Aparigraha. So these five are considered as yama. Yama means the very word yama means to control. Yamayate, yamayati. So, ahimsa, satyam, and then asteya, brahmacharya, and aparigraha. This is yama. These are all mostly external to, in a way. Then comes niyama, which are more internal. What are those? Shaucham, antar bahish shaucham. Inside and outside purity. Externally also only you should live in a clean spot and place, and internally also one should remain pure, not crooked, not self-centered, not narrow, not dichotomized, split. One should be straight, self-honesty. We are taking self-honesty for this month, so the value. I hope you're all reading it. Then santoshaha, contentment. Feeling complete, feeling that that's enough. What I have is what is I deserve, and that's enough for me. This santosha, santushti. That is second. Third one is tapas. Tapas is in the form of ability to not to become victim of the senses, and I should know that I can live without succumbing to the demands of the senses. So once in a while one should stop what one is regularly doing and to see how the mind reacts to it. That is what is tapas. Not to gain any particular power or anything, but tapas is meant for making sure that I'm not a slave to the senses. I should know I am the master. When I want, I will give, not that it is demanded and I become a slave to those demands. So tapas. Then swadhyaya, study. study of scriptures or listening to it regularly can create a new kind of thinking, new way of thinking. And that is Swadhyaya. And then fifth one is Ishvara Pranidhanam, surrender to the Lord. For everything that is happening with me, in my life, and around me, are as per the Lord's dictate. And listen, Bhagavan decided what to happen. You and I cannot. Whether it's political, economical, and everything else is Ishvara Icha. Let it happen the way he wants. So that way, Ishvara Pranidhanam. So these are all considered as the cause. What? Uparamasya hetuhu. Uparamasya hetu is yama adi nirodhascha. Now, the Uparati Swarupam is the Nirodha. Yama Adi Hetu. Then the Nirodha Swarupa. Swarupa the Nirodha. The nature of Uparama is absence of unwanted movements of the mind. Fully, totally, then it's Samadhi or sleep. One of those. Movement of the mind is pretty much under control. And that's why second sutra and Patanjali is Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chittasya Vritti. So, consciousness becoming a thought. Consciousness expressing as thoughts. Consciousness multiplying it as thoughts. The Nirodha. This is a Swarupa of Uparama. So when I say I have Shanti, peace, does not mean it's a particular thought. Isn't it? Peace is not a thought. Peace is a state of mind where the thoughts are minimized. When my mind is, when I'm looking at a beautiful nature or beautiful scenery there, I'm so quiet. When I come to a temple and sit down, mind quiet. What does it mean? Thoughts in the mind has become reduced to the bare minimum. If possible, only one. Bhagavan. If you are looking at the Lord, that alone, or if you are looking at the nature, that alone. If you are singing or listening to Bhagavan's glory, that alone. So, minimize the thought to the bare minimum, and that is called Nirodha. It's not a control, but it's a controlled state. The Nirodha Swarupa. Uparamasya Swarupa the Nirodha. Then this is necessary. This Uparati, the Nirodha is necessary for the knowledge to take place in such a way that it can directly make us able to recognize the presence of the self. If the thoughts are, while you are listening to a knowledge, or when you are reading something, or when you are trying to contemplate, if thoughts are around, Uparati is not there, then the real knowledge won't take place. That is Sattva. Sattva is, here, Buddhi Nirodha, what is mentioned here is the Sattva Buddhi. What is the nature of Sattva? Sarva Dwareshu Dehesmin Prakasha Upajayate Sattvam Vivruddham Iti Vidyat. Right? When is Sattva is predominant from all aspects, all senses have become so bright. Bright means Prakash. Prakash means what? Jnanam. See, light is that, what it does, if when you put on the light here, and when you come to the room, you put on, what does it do? It shows what is there. Beginning. When the sun comes up in the sky, what it does, what is the nature of the sun, what is the nature of the light of the sun? It shows what is there. ज्ञान का वही अर्थ है. ज्ञान जो है वो जो है उसको दिखाता है. What is there is shown. It doesn't do anything else. So जो है हमारे पास, what is already there is been revealed. So that's why we connect jnanam to prakasha or light. So that is why it is said there, Huh? That is Sarvadvareshu Dehesmin Prakasha Upajayate means what? Light, bulb. Isn't it? Prakash means Jnana Upajayate. Jnanam Upajayate. All the senses are ready for knowledge. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, mind, everything is ready for knowledge. So that is what is called the Swarupa of Jnana. So here, the Nirodha, control of the thoughts which leads to nature of Sattva, Sattva Deva Sanjayate Jnanam. So Jnanam Prakasha Rupam. That is why it is said, the Nirodha. The Nirodha is not the state of swoon. Huh? That is not the Nirodha. Because tamas also look the same, no? Tamas, what are you? The Nirodha. कुछ सुनते हो नहीं? I'm not listening to anything. Sleeping. That is not the Nirodha. That can happen with also. Right? The Nirodha. That is not considered as, that is alone. You cannot isolate the Nirodha. But it is meant for knowledge. Then, what is the karya? Bodhasya karya kim? Karyam kim? What is it? Vyavaharasya samshaya. Absence of worldly transactions. That is the effect of knowledge. Chal. No more. I have no interest in this anymore. Vyavahara bhumau na santushta. He is not happy with this vyavahara. So many things are going on in this world. So everywhere it is there. It will come, it will go. That is the nature of this world. So there is no more real interest in engaging in the worldly things. That is the Atma Jnanasya Karyam. That is Prayojanam. Jnanasya Prayojanam. What is the Prayojana or Phalam of Jnanam is no more interest or reduced engagement in the world. Vyavaharasya Samyak Kshaya. Reduction. And at the very mature level, one would say, I am not interested anymore. But reduction in worldly things. Syuhu hetu adyaha, this being. Hetu adyaha, meaning hetu swarupa karya. Adyaha uparatehe, of uparate. Iti asankara iritaha. Asankara means without mixing up anything. Sankara means to mix up. So, understand then now what is Vairagya. Clearly. What is the Vairagya hetu? Quick. Guneshu dosha darshanam, then. Swarupa. Jihasa. Then. Karya. Bhogeshu adinata. Alright. Bodhasya hetu. Shravanadi. Swarupa. Tattva Mithya Vivechanam. Huh? Is that?
Yes. Swarupa. The Swarupa.
Okay, what is the effect then? Punaha Grantehe Anudayaha. Alright, good. Uparasdayehe Getuhu Yamaniyamadi Sadhanani. Alright. Swarupa the Nirodha, and then Karya is Vyavahara Samkshaya. Alright. So this way it has been made clear. Now, coming to the next point. Swamiji, I heard these three. Which is important? Vairagya or Jnana or Bodh or Uparati. Which is important? Among the three, what is most important? So now it is said, next verse number 281. Tattva bodha pradhanam syat sakshan moksha pradatvatah bodopakarina veto वैराग्यो परमावुपौ तत्त्वबोधप्रधानं स्यात् साक्षात् मोक्षप्रदत्पदः बोधोपकारिणा वेतौ वैराग्यो परमावुभौ प्रधानं तत्त्वबोधः तत्त्वस्य बोधः आत्मबोधः प्रधान ज्ञानमेव प्रधानम क्यों वाई साक्षात मोक्ष प्रदत्वतः पंचमी because being the one which gives directly moksha jnanena moksham jnanat evat kaivalyam so therefore here pradhanam tattvabodah why moksha sakshat moksha pradadati tasmat pradatvatah that being the one which gives directly the moksha. See, giving means what? It enables you to recognize your moksha rupa. Giving it does not mean okay ज्ञान है उसके पास कुछ करना है वो मोक्ष है नहीं moksha is your nature and knowledge alone can reveal that. So then what about other two vairagya and uparati? They are bodha upakarino etau. They are truly very helpful in gaining the knowledge or making the knowledge possible. Meaning, if somebody has knowledge and fails to have vairagya or uparati or both, it doesn't go further. Because knowledge will be contradicting or absence of vairagya will become an obstacle for knowledge to become a means to moksha. Uparati also, mind is agitated and restless. Vyavahara buddhi is there still. It won't work. So, it is definitely these two, when they are there, they are very helpful for Shravanam to take place, Mananam to take place, and Nididhyasanam. And also the clarity between Mithya and Satyam. That happens when the ability to let go through Vairagya and keeping the mind quiet for the contemplation. Uparati helps the contemplation and dispassion makes one able to come out of engagements. So, bodha upakarino eto. Who are those? Which are those? Vairagya uparamau ubau. These two. Both of them will help in making sure that knowledge is effectively experienced for gaining the moksha. So, if a person is, in spite of knowledge, not getting moksha or not able to free oneself, in spite of knowledge, one of them is lacking, or one of them are in a reduced manner, not in the perfect or mature level. So that is stated in the next verse here. Trayopyatyanta pakvasches mahatastapasah palam duritena kvachit kaschit kadachit pratibhadyate trayopyatyanta pakvaschet mahatastapasah palam duritena kvachit kaschit kadachit pratibhadyate. So, trayaha api atyantya pakvaschet. If all the three of them are pakva, pakva means fully mature. But vairagya is also full, uparama is also full, and jnanam is also complete. Then that is nothing but result of tapas. Mahata tapas phalam. ये तपस किया है अभी इस जन्म में या पूर्व जन्म में. भगवान से बहुनाम जन्म नाम. after many, many lives of tapas. Tapasa eva vidamaptavyam. By tapas alone, by tapas here means what? Even dispassion is a tapas only. Because now very easily we can give up things, especially when things are very so used to. So, what is the connection between giving up sweet and moksha? With kya connection? I don't understand. There is intimate connection between these two. It is not the sweet business, but ability to give up. It is not that one particular object that you have to give up. The intent, the ability, the skill to let go. That is the important thing there. And once you gain the skill of letting go anything which you like the most, it is easy to apply the things which you don't like also, obviously. But things which are not as addictive. Right? If I am addicted to certain things, if I am able to give up, the same strength can be applied in all other things. So dispassion is what? Jihatumicha. Jihasa or hatumicha. So jihasa, not jihatumicha. So jihad? No. Jihasa, sorry, not jihad. Suddenly kahan se kahan ho gaya? Hatumicha. Jihasa. Jihasa is to let go. So that skill, when it is gone, how it happens? Dosha drishti. Seeing the defect in the thing, there's no more of any use to me. So trayaha api atyanta pakvaschet. Pakvaha. They are all the three have become paka. Means what? Fully mature. Then mahatas tapasa palam. That is none other than the result of very great amount of austerity done, either in this life or previous life. But what happens is, if it is not pakva, what is the reason? Durita. Durita means purvakruta papa karma. That's why he says durita kshayartham. When we do the puja, mamopata, samasta, durita kshayadwara. Durita kshayadwara. Durita in Tamil means quick, but that is twaritam. So in some because Tamil twarita become turita. But here durita. Durita means purvakritam karma. Kaschit, kvachit, kadachit. So kachit, these three things you put. Kaschit in some people. Kvachit in some people. Kinchit is written, what is it? Kvachit, kinchit, kadachit. To someone, kvachit, kinchit in some way, and kadachit at some time becomes an obstacle. Pratipadyate. Pratipada means pratipadyate. Stops an individual. Hinders. Obstacle. Comes as an obstacle. So then say, chala kya karo? Past karma hai na. Main kya karu abhi? Don't you take that as an excuse. Abhi tapas karke usko nikala hai. So I know that in the past this has happened. I have done. That is now stopping me. Doesn't mean you become complacent about it. No. Let me get out of this. Do some extra effort I have to put to overcome that. See, when you are traveling in a road and you are going, but suddenly there is a mount, there is a higher, road becomes steep. Then what do you do? What to do? What do you do? Go to the first gear and move. So in the same way, I have to expedite and force myself to a greater elevated discipline. Then only you can overcome that obstacle. Even I will go in the same only, fourth gear only, whatever happens. Then you will be standing there. What happened? That much only I can do. Put the first gear to go up. So one has to put extra effort upon knowing the past is sitting here, past is coming here in the form of vasanas, in the form of some thoughts, in the form of some external obstacles. I have clearly seen that is coming up, so I have to put an extra effort to overcome that. That is what is called tapas. So here in this context, duritena kvachit kinchit kadachit pradipadyate. Some kind of an obstacle that comes to some people in some time, in some way, then one has to overcome. The absence of any one of them is the result of some demerit acquired in the past. So, continuing here, Vairagyo pariti purne bodhasya bodhastu pratipadyate yasya tasya na mokshosti punyalokastapopalat vairagyo parati purne bodhastu pratipadyate yasya tasya na mokshosti punyalokastapopalat. Very clear. Na moksha asti tasya yasya vairagya upadi purnaha bodhastu pratipadyate. So, very clear here. If a person has got vairagya and uparati, fully mature, some people are dispassionate, mind is quiet also. This dispassion can come for various reasons, by experience also. Bitter experiences also can. So some people have that kind of a dispassion over worldly things, for whatever be the reason, because of bitterness, or they have analyzed and understood there is no more. Even as they have, some of the devotees of the Lord also they do, devotees in the sense those who do the upasanas. No, so very strict upasana they do. Oh no, 9 days of fasting, 9 of this and that, all that. So they are very good uparadi also. Bodh nahi hai. Atma jnana nahi hai. So what happens to them? So vairagya uparadi purne, even as the vairagya and uparadi are complete and full, bodhastu pradipadyate chet. If there is one whose knowledge is obstacle, meaning such people, they do everything else. We have seen many of them do a lot of rituals and this and that, vrata, this. Shastra sunne ka koi man nahi. Jnana abhi man more nahi. Puja they will do. Japa they can do for whole 1 hour, 2 hours. Go to Kshetratan also. All the celebration of festivals. Puja, of course. आप बैठो रामायण सुनो नहीं, भगवत गीता मरेली नहीं. So then what happens? So what they need for moksha is not taken up. So therefore he says tasya na moksha asti. Because earlier he has made it clear. Bodhasya prayojanam va sakshat moksha pradatvat. Moksha pradatvat, being that one which is giving the direct, therefore pradhanyam. Among all the three, bodha, tattva bodha pradhanyaha. The importance is knowledge. So, vairagya uparati, jewel. Vairagya uparati purne bodhastu pratipadyate yasya tasya na moksha asti. No possibility of moksha. But then what do they gain out of the upasana, etc.? They have mukti in the form of going up to the Brahmalok, not into the Brahmalok. Up to the Brahmalok. So, having bhu, bhuva, swaha done, mahajanaha tapaha, up to Satya. So, punya poga tapo balat. Tapo balat punya lokaha, na moksha. Even when you saw, when we were reading Tulsi Ramayana, very clearly, when Ram comes back to Ayodhya or on the way, when Dasharatha comes there, right? Dasharatha comes there and to bless them. And very clearly, Tulsidasi writes there, usko mukti nahi mila. Because he did not get the knowledge, Bhagavan gives him, okay, go to Surgalok and enjoy that place. So here, tasya na mokshaha asti punyalokastapobalat. We'll see more of it in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyat dukkhavat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.